Good afternoon, everyone. My name is John Desch, and if I may, I'd like to take a couple minutes to talk to you guys about the survey that I did, as well as the study that I conducted. So the survey that I did was basically to determine if if transportation had any effect on student academic success, both in the classroom or in other areas of their educational career. And to do that, basically what I did is I created a survey on Google Forms, and I went through and polled students about their experience with things like on-campus transportation, parking facilities, and things of those nature. So as we move forward to the next slide, again, the purpose, as I stated before, the purpose of the study was to determine if the transportation services and parking facilities hindered student success in any way. And as you'll see, the graphs will show some interesting results. So the way that I collected the data, I created the survey on Google Forms, and then I went onto campus during the peak times of day, usually around lunchtime or in the early morning, and I asked the students to at first read over the appendix, agree to consent to it, and then I would have them complete the survey on my laptop, and the results would be compiled into Google Forms right away. So the first thing that I asked students was really to get an idea of where they lived. This was important because I wanted to see where people were spread out to and how they were organized on campus. So as you can see, a majority of students do live off campus. This may be in part to the fact that a lot of the students that I polled happen to be upperclassmen, for example, juniors, seniors, even some graduate students as well. So the data does reflect that. As you can see, there were 51 participants in this study. So second question I asked was, how do students commute to campus? And this one you can really see where it kind of starts to get a little bit more diverse as far as the answers that I received. So as I noted before, a lot of students do live off campus, in which case majority of them did utilize personal vehicles. However, coming in very close second was the bicycle, which isn't surprising as at ASU you do see a lot of students using bicycles. So those were the two top results that I got as far as how students commute. So for on-campus transportation methods, this one, due to a lot of students using personal vehicles, there weren't as many students utilizing on-campus methods, but for the method that was used the most, the one that I saw from the results was the flash bus. The flash bus is nice because it does run just within campus, which is why I believe a lot of students do use that as an effective means of transportation. So this was pretty interesting to me. As far as the students that do utilize on-campus facilities and with all the answers I got, it was pretty surprising to see that the results were almost a 50-50 split. With the majority of students using personal vehicles, I figured that I would see a majority using the parking facilities, but I didn't expect it to be as split as this. So the next question I asked to follow up the parking question was, has parking ever inconvenienced you? And as you can see, since a lot of students, again, use things like bicycles, walking, rideshare, or even the on-campus transportation facilities and services that we have, a lot of them said that it has not inconvenienced them just because they don't utilize parking facilities. So this one, this was a little surprising to me. So the GPA results were fairly inconclusive, as the majority of the students had just kind of depicted everyone's range of grades. There wasn't really any outliers that stood out here. The most common one that I got was around like the 3.65 area. So that was the most common answer, but there wasn't really one that stood out per se. So then the last question that I asked was, what year are students at ASU? Once again, this kind of reflects the data that I got. A lot of students that I did poll did tend to be upperclassmen. For example, juniors was the most common, sophomores was up there as well, and so were seniors. There were a couple grad students in there, but that was about the same as the number of freshmen I polled. So it's safe to say that due to there being a majority of this bracket right here, sophomores to seniors, and the off-campus living, it would be safe to say that you would see a greater use of parking facilities. And last but not least, just to kind of reiterate some of the points that I stated, one thing that I did notice, and once again, is that the majority of students did live off campus and were commuting to school via either personal vehicles, ride shares, or transportation. services. And then again, the personal vehicle was the most popular one. So that would go along with a lot of students being off campus. The flash bus was the most popular and used on-campus service. The results for the parking facilities was pretty even, as we saw with that 51-49 split in there. And then most of the participants were actually inconvenienced by parking services, which would lead me to believe that it would have an impact on their academic success to a degree. Once again, I'd like to thank everyone for taking a couple minutes to watch my video, and I hope you enjoyed it.